Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and also on our streaming site eaglenewslive.com. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Eagle News. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me discover the latest news and information and business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. The State of Israel and the Republic of the Philippines both share a deep connection for many years. History tells us that the Philippines was one of the few countries which opened its doors to refugees during the Holocaust. That was when Manila was transformed into a safe haven for 1,200 Jews who escaped the Nazi regime. Up to this day, the Philippines continues to reap the fruits of extending that help, including Israel's granting of visa-free entry to Filipino tourists. There's more to know about Israel and the Philippine relationship in the area of tourism. Open for Business's exclusive interview with the Director General of the Israel Ministry of Tourism after these highlights of the media launch of the Philippine FinTech Festival. Take a look.
Learning opportunities, the PFF will have the Tech Experience Zone where you can actually see, touch, and experience tech. It's going to be a convergence of cutting-edge tech and solutions where our delegates can immerse themselves in cutting-edge technology and emerging products, discover possibilities to tech up, and witness the best practice innovations from all over the region and their applications in various industries. Apart from these engaging programs, watch out for the other festival highlights that we're coming up with, such as the business matching, which Yusek Vita mentioned. This is where our delegates can collaborate with other C-level executives, potential partners, industry regulators, and key stakeholders. We will also have Trade Connect, where business leaders and executives learn from one another and network with fellow entrepreneurs from all over ASEAN. Moreover, we will have the very first PFF Awards to recognize the top fintechs, startups, and innovative companies from Southeast Asia.
Fintech offers convenience. It offers accessibility and security. In short, it is a game changer. In our economic playing field, it brings access to insurance, financial transactions, and to more capital, among many others. The economic impact of fintech to all types of businesses, traditional or novel, is quite significant. In fact, fintech makes it even easier for new players, even those from developing areas, those without the advantages of being in the city. It gives them the ability to compete in the digital economy.
With more than 500 startups valued at $378 million, the Philippine startup ecosystem is still young, but it is full of potential and embedded capabilities. There's plenty of room to grow, like in bridging the gaps in business services, in tech, and financial inclusion of the unbanked. You've heard the numbers, right? The opportunity for fintech businesses to thrive is strong due to a confluence of a number of unique and positive factors, like the large diaspora of Filipinos sending over $30 billion in remittances, the growing adoption of e-commerce, which, by the way, we are also promoting, and the opportunities for embracing new technologies, improving financial inclusion, and serving the huge number of the unbanked.
Two things that will be different is we want more Filipino participants, both innovators, startups, investors, and even mainstream companies, because we feel that although the title is Philippine FinTech Festival, in truth, we also have a goal to be a catalyst for Tech Up Pilipinas, so that we can transform industry and their ecosystems to be more competitive in the fourth industrial age. So that's one. And the second difference is we want it to be more experiential. So rather than having passive displays or a lot of speakers, we'll also have that. It's more experiential, hackathons, the actual booths that will be displayed, there'll be many of them where people can actually see and hear and feel what the modern world might be like in real life. And we hope that that'll be a catalyst for active learning, which is doing. So we spend a lot of time attending seminars, going to different fintech festivals or visiting Silicon Valley, and that's all good, but it does not overcome the inertia of transformation.
And it's great to be part of a group that's trying to enable this for the Philippines. We've attended the Singapore FinTech Festival. I was very encouraged to see that we're bringing something to the Philippines, and this morning's event was great in terms of institutions like the IFC, as well as the startup pitch, bringing their programs to the festival. And I'm sure with the kind of participation that we're seeing, we're going to see a lot of encouragement for fintech companies to solve along with large financial institutions.
SMMEs typically are very cash driven. They're transacting cash, which from an access to working capital, or let's say finance, becomes very, very complicated for financial institutions. So I think what for them fintechs bring is the ability to demystify those cash payments, to bring them into the open so that we have more sight, or institutions have more sight of what SMMEs are doing, or stores are doing. And through that information, or through that data, obviously with their consent, but through that data, it is much easier to score, to provide financial products, to potentially provide access to working capital. So I think technology is a very important part of the SMME value chain, but it's not a problem that will be solved overnight. It's certainly not easy within a cash environment, but certainly technology can go a long way to assist it.
Among the things that will happen during PFF is the final pitch Philippine FinTech Festival edition. And this is our call out to those who would like to pitch at this very unique festival, because it's going to be not just local judges, but we'll have really global investors, successful entrepreneurs listening in on the pitches, and hopefully we get something going there. And apart from that, we're also going to be calling out those who would want to pitch for the final pitch ASEAN edition. So this is something that we're doing by next year. We are involving 6 countries from the ASEAN region. So we're working obviously with the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. And we're going to be getting one investor that will represent each country. They will all converge in Singapore, where they will hear the pitches of startups from across the region. So for the first time, we're actually creating something that we're going to be exporting. So this is going to be a net export for the Philippines. It's something that we're going to bring to a global audience, and something that we hope that a lot of Filipinos will also be involved in, because this is our call out now for startups that want to scale across the region. So this is the purpose of the final pitch ASEAN edition.
Open for Business was also at the 5th International Travel Trade Expo. Here's our coverage.
Started this, I think, 2015, It was the first edition, and it was done at the function rooms. So what we gave the sellers are just tabletops and 2 chairs. It was done consecutively until the 4th one, and we decided to make it bigger to give more value for our sellers or our foreign delegates to have more space, more time to deal and offer their products, services, and professionalize our event to this kind of setup. It's a boot scheme setup. This is the first time it's gonna happen, and we're looking forward to make it every year and improve it to be much bigger. If we give more tourists to other countries, the people there will know about our country as well and come back here. And with the continuous support of the Department of Tourism promoting Philippines as a destination, not only just for leisure but also for MICE, and introducing the different what do you call this, cities and places which can encourage them to choose Philippines as their final destination for leisure, MICE, or business. Safety is our number one priority. No? All the travel agents here and our partners are well aware of the situation what's happening. So we are very open to reconsider the cancellation, postpone it. You know. It happened before also, but after that outbreak, tourism gets bigger. So we're looking forward. We should be positive sa ganitong things. We can control, but life must go on. So continuous lang tayo, push, promote, and eventually outcome, it will not be just in a day, for we'll see it in the future. So I believe this is just a test or trial for us to unite again, no, and be more safe. Maging mas paano to, para maging mas precaution ba tayo tawag? Diba? Sa lahat, kahit merong outbreak or wala, at least lagi tayo mag-sanitize, check ng body natin kung okay, diba? So parang lesson lang din sa atin yan, so that next time, mas safe na lahat ng travelers natin. Israel is, kahit sabihin mo hindi man siya number 1 destination right now, but it's growing. The number of tourists going to Israel is increasing due to we as Filipinos, our religion and faith is very important. So at least once in your life you visit, Israel. It is something na they want, parang bucket list nila yan . No? Now, for the other destination, ang pinaka-paborito right now is Japan, Europe, Korea, no? And after that, all the destinations will benefit with our travelers. Kasi Filipinos mahilig magpumayayan . Dati it's like a luxury.
Luxury before.
Diba? But right now, it's a parang part of their lifestyle. Lahat ng savings nila, may category na travel diba?
Right.
So after nun, so I think all the countries will benefit it in due time. But currently, saan yung mabilis ang visa, saan mabilis pumiyahe, tsaka saan mas mura, of course, dun sila pupunta.
Open for Business will be back with Director General Amir Halevi of the Israel Ministry of Tourism. Stay tuned. Open for Business is back, and with me now is the Director General of the Israel Ministry of Tourism, Director General Amir Halevi. Thank you very much for inviting us here in your booth.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You told me off-cam that it's your first time in the Philippines. So far, Director General, what's your impression of the Philippines?
I think that for us in Israel, Philippines is one of our best friends. We love the people, we love the Philippines tradition, we have a common history. We really appreciate all of the support that we got many years ago from the Philippines over the years of the Holocaust. broadcast, and that's why we still have very close relationship between our leaders and between our nations and people, and this is the most important thing, to build the bridge, and here we are to develop the business, to develop the tourism between the country, and let's hope to continue the wonderful momentum that we have.
Yeah, great to know, sir, especially when you said you want to sustain that momentum. And we very much agree with you that we have a very colorful and long history of relationship. So far, Director General, what are the efforts between the two countries in terms of tourism development?
I think that 3 years ago, when Minister of Tourism Yariv Levin from Israel came to visit Manila, we realized that there is a wonderful potential. We opened for the first time the IGTO, the Israeli Government Ministry of Tourism Office. We have Miss Anna, that she is the director, with Sami, that is the director that is working about the Philippines and India together. And we are very proud when we saw that we have the traffic is almost 3 times than it was a couple of years ago. And that's why we feel that the potential for the Filipinos to come to Israel is huge. Many want to visit Israel, the Holy Land, with all the holy sites that we have, from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem to the Sea of Galilee and all over the holy places. And on the other side, the Israelis love to go and to visit the Philippines. They are looking for new destination, and we see also the number of Israelis and families from Israel that are coming to vacation here in the Philippines.
Director General, you mentioned about the Ministry of Tourism having key point persons here. Is that a strategy that you really created an office, that will cater to tourism initiatives between Israel and the Philippines?
Yeah, this is our model to develop the traffic. We have a business office here. We are dealing with a marketing agreement with tour operator, looking for opportunities to host a decision maker from the Philippines in Israel, and all of the marketing activity. And we hope that one day and soon we will have also direct flight from Israel from Tel Aviv to Manila. And this is hopefully will be the game changer that can develop the traffic, and almost in a couple of years can double and even more the number of tourists.
As of now, Director General, what's the stopover if there is no direct flight now?
I think that right now there are a lot of options via Europe, via Asia. We are dealing with all of the airlines, and we have a lot of opportunities how to fly to Israel, but the best will be when we'll have one day either local PAL or El Al that will have a direct flight.
Do you have any specific timeline on the arrangements with the airlines as to when there could be a potential direct flight from the Philippines to Tel Aviv?
We are the ministry the last couple of years developed a lot of new direct flight to Israel from all over. From the US we have a lot of new flights from Chicago, Miami, Vegas, San Francisco, India, China, Sao Paulo. From all of the destinations, when they start, they are doing very well, and they are moving from 3 weekly flights to mainly daily flights, because the Israeli market is very good, the potential in Israel is huge, and they are moving for daily very quickly. That's why we feel that here, when they will take the decision, they will do very well, and hopefully soon we'll have the first direct flight, and not a lot after that we'll have daily flights from Manila to Tel Aviv.
Now, Director General, you mentioned earlier about these figures that it doubled or tripled. Can you do you have data? Can you be more specific on the tourist arrivals in Israel? Filipinos going there, and Israel is also going to Manila in terms of arrivals, tourism arrivals.
Yeah, I think that the traffic in a couple of years grew from about 10,000 Filipinos to almost 40,000.
Wow.
And it's a very good news, but we just started to work here and to develop and to promote the Israeli, the Holy Land and the story of Israel and the product of Israel. You can do a lot in Israel. And that's why we think that if we will continue, and people here, the tourists, when they will look for destination for the Holy Land, Israel is the only country that we are the Holy Land. And it's also the startup nation with the technology and the agriculture that is very attractive and developed. And we have a lot of things to do, wonderful weather, wonderful beaches, the culinary in Israel, the wineries, a lot of events, sports events. We have almost 6 international marathons every year that people from all over the world come to run either in the lowest place in the earth in the Dead Sea or in the holy city Jerusalem. That the full marathon there is very challenging, and also only for tough runners is that they are looking for opportunity to run hilly marathon. They are coming there. So we have about thousands of runners every year that are coming to the Jerusalem Marathon and the Tel Aviv Marathon. We have Sea of Galilee Marathon, Bible Marathon. So a lot of events. We have the yoga festival in the desert that is very popular, and all together it's a full product that is give us the opportunity to develop the traffic to Israel year after year for a record year. And at the last couple of years, we almost doubled the numbers of tourists that came to Israel.
Wow.
Mainly from Europe, from the US, from Asia.
About how many in terms of arrivals?
It's about, right now, it's more than 4.5 million. But this is after many years that we stuck with the same number. Over the years that the situation was that people thought that Israel, with the conflict in the Mediterranean, it's not the best place to visit. But what's that happened since then, that I think that all over the world the tourists understand that no one knows where and when will be the next either it's terror attack or any earthquake or something like the corona that we have right now. The tourism has to keep going and to keep the momentum. This is very important for the economy. And in Israel, we realize that tourists want to come to Israel. They want to stay in Israel, and they feel very safe in Israel. Because I think that Jerusalem and Tel Aviv are very safe city. The tourists can feel that. I think that the only place that they can run and jog after midnight, either it's men or women by themselves, it's in the Central Park of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem or in the beach of Tel Aviv. You cannot go to the Central Park in Manhattan or to the Regent Park in London to run in the middle of the night. In Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, you can do it, and that's what that the tourists realize, and they know that if something happened in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, we have a lot of experience, and that's why they feel very safe.
Director General, capitalize on something that's very important, which is security. And of course, a lot of foreigners, a lot of visitors, especially now, they're more concerned with their security. In terms of the Ministry of Tourism in Israel, what strategies do you do to ensure that this you ensure the safety and security of foreigners? Because of course we know with the other travel destinations that is with the terrorism threats and with the other issues globally, that's a major concern for foreign visitors. What's the strategy of the Ministry of Tourism to make it the places, especially the tourism spots, safe and secure for everyone?
I think that in Israel we have the strategy that you can come to the homeland and you can have a lot of fun in Israel. The combination with the situation that since 9/11 the world has realized that you can never know where and when will be the next terror attack. We had many terror attacks in Europe in the last couple of years, either in London or Berlin or Paris or Barcelona, all over Europe.
Yeah.
And that's why in Israel we keep going. We understand that the tourism, the business of the tourism, that it's from the tourist to the over the tour operator, the agent, the hoteliers and the airlines. This is the economy. That's why people will continue to go and to look for vacation, either if something happens somewhere. In Israel, we feel that we are very safe. The crime rate is almost zero in Israel. And that's why tourists want to come and visit Israel, and we can see it with the numbers.
In terms of the foreigners who are visiting, I'm sure you have this pie of the nationalities. So far, what is the existing in terms of the foreigners going to Israel, and what opportunity are you looking at in terms of the other nationalities going there? I'm sure, of course, the Filipinos is a major target market, but are you eyeing other countries like Europe to travel to Israel? What's the current figures now in terms of the majority of the visitors, and what is that market that you are eyeing to go to Israel?
Our big market is the American market. About 25% of the market is the American. In Europe we have also huge potential. The numbers are about more than the American, but from all over Europe. We have big markets in Germany, France, the UK, Italy, Spain, the Scandinavian, all over. But due to the fact that from Europe it's a couple of hours of flights to Israel, there we will continue to push and to develop, and our marketing tools are working there, and we hope to double the numbers for Europe. The Asian market is very important. We have wonderful traffic from China with a lot of new direct flights with El Al from Israel and the local airlines from China. I think that 4 times the numbers from China is 4 times than we had 3 or 4 years ago, and we hope to continue this wonderful traffic. From India, we did the same, since we have the local brand Air India with El Al from Israel. We almost doubled the numbers, and this is another very important country. And we are working in Korea, We have an office also in Seoul, like we have in India and China.
I'm sure you guys
And the last couple of years we are working very hard here in Manila, and we saw also a very good result, and we feel that the potential here with the wonderful people here that we have, that the Israelis want to go to the Filipinos and the Filipinos want to come to Israel. Also, we have to say we have the history, we have a lot of common things and very good relation between the governments and the leaders. But the people in Israel really love the Filipinos because of a lot of workers that we have here, and it's a very nice community. And
How many, in terms of number, any estimate on the number of Filipino communities there?
many, a lot, and soon we'll have also for the first time workers that will come to work at the hotels in Israel.
Okay, services sector.
We worked about it for joint venture with the government of the Filipinos and the Israel together to see how we can create workers that will support us by upgrade the standards of the hotels. That's why it's so important for us to have Filipinos that will work at our hotels, and soon we'll have the first employees that will come to Israel.
That is very good news, Director General, because of course, not only that you are promoting tourism, but also you're promoting employment to Filipinos. Is that a strategy that has not been done before? Because of course we know when we talk of employment, a lot of Filipinos are in the customer service sector, and we know for a fact that with Filipinos we offer the best customer service. That's why in majority of the countries also our customer service, especially the ones where Filipinos are at the front line, it is known worldwide, and we offer that kind of world-class service in terms of customer service. And with what you mentioned, that with these tie-ups with the Philippine government, is that a new strategy where you now will invite Filipinos also to work in the hotel industry and the customer service industry? So not only that you are promoting tourism, but also providing employment to our people.
Yeah, this is really very important for us, because after the wonderful experience that we have with the cooperation of employees that are coming to take care about people in Israel, and they are doing very well, and they are the most popular in Israel. That's why the government is willing to continue the collaboration with employees also for the tourism industry, mainly for the hotels in Israel, that we want the standard that we have with the Filipinos, and that's why it's so important for us. And hopefully we will have the first group that will come to Israel soon.
Is it going to be this year?
Hopefully this year.
Okay. That's good news.
And hopefully we will continue with that, because in Israel we don't have enough employees for this industry, and we know that the Filipinos will give us a very good and professional solution.
That's great. As a matter of fact, when I interviewed the ambassador months ago, he also emphasized that the Filipinos are very excellent in terms of the health and wellness industry, because we have a lot of professionals in the caregiving industry. So I think that's coupled that with tourism, it's going to be a bigger market for Filipinos in terms of employment there. My other question, Director General, is that you mentioned about the use of Israel as a startup nation. We know that we are actually very impressed with the many technology startups there. As a matter of fact, a lot of Filipinos here, I myself, cannot survive anymore without Waze, which is of course developed by Israel entrepreneurs. So, are you also using this entrepreneurship character, this startup character of Israel as a way to boost tourism for your country?
Yeah, I think that Israel historically is the Holy Land. And I think that what's that happened since the story of Jesus and all of the holy sites that we have is that in the Holy Land we did some miracles with the history of the people of Israel, with the story of the Jewish people, with all of the story when we suffered in Europe last century with the Holocaust. So we have the state of Israel more than 70 years, and in the Holy Land we did miracles. One of them is the startup nation with a lot of new technologies from the agriculture over the diamond and to the technology, where we have the Waze and many other technologies that we developed in Israel, and we are very proud that we can share it with all over the world, and it's good for the business, good for the economy of Israel and all over the world, because without Waze, mainly in countries like Philippines and Israel, that we are suffering from the infrastructure. So Waze is really a miracle, and that's why in Israel we want to promote the technologies, and we have a lot of tourists that are coming to Israel to see all of the startups, the labs, the atmosphere that is supporting the creatives of the Israelis and the innovation that is a very important tool to continue and to develop more startups.
Which is very, very encouraging, Director General, because even education, in terms of your education, we also learned that somehow technology is already integrated even in the early phases of the curriculum, like as early as I think kindergarten or elementary. Technology is already there because you wanted to imbibe entrepreneurship already in providing education. Are there initiatives also of the Ministry of Tourism to somehow make it the universities, the startup colleges and universities to be tourism areas? Like I think there is one startup competition also, that's really provided by the Ministry of Tourism to invite startup companies, entrepreneurs, to make sure that they observe all this, as you mentioned, startup labs. How big is this market, for these universities, for young entrepreneurs to go to Israel and discover that part of Israel that is not that much, although we know it here in the Philippines, but of course what's really promoted a lot of times is of course the other tourism attractions, but not necessarily on the entrepreneurship side of tourism.
The Antelope Canyon, that's what
I think that in Israel the main issue is that everywhere you can see startups. Either it's at the academy, at the universities and over the academy, and also Jerusalem and Tel Aviv are crowded with a lot of coffee shops. And the young generation is there with the laptop. And this is also the beginning, before they have the seed money, they're sitting at the coffee shop and thinking about the innovation.
Yes.
And this is the first lab and the first step And then they are going over and raising money and get funds from the VCs. And then the next step is startups. And that's why I think that the atmosphere is very important. And mainly I think that with the Startup Nation book, you can see that Israel, with the unique situation that we have in the Middle East, with the situation that not all of our borders are open, and the young generation has to go to serve the army. This is very important stage, a perfect base to develop creativity, and the next step is innovation. And with the between 2 to 3 years that most of the Israelis are in the army service, you can go over and see that this is the field that supports the startups.
Sir, one of the aspects of Israel that's also impressive is your technologies on water and your technologies on agriculture. Is this also part of your tourism initiatives to highlight technologies in these areas?
Of course, we have another one, which is
yeah, because Israel, it's a small country. We almost double the number of the population in about 20 years.
You can do this.
We need a very smart agriculture.
Yeah.
We don't have unlimited capacity of water. We're suffering from, from this year we have a lot of wonderful winter with a lot of rain, but for many years we suffered from so short of not enough rains. We don't have a lot of lakes. That's why we need to be very effective. This is one of our main goals is to develop new technologies about agriculture, irrigations, and so on. And that's why we have also the irrigation system of Netafim. This is also R&D, research and development from Israel, that all over the world people use it, and we are very proud on it.
Perfect. We have a few more questions to the Director General of the Ministry of Tourism in Israel. Open for Business will be back. Stay with us. Open for Business is back, and with me is the Director General of the Ministry of Tourism in Israel, Director General Amir Halevi. You have a very interesting last name, and I know that it somehow pertains to something very important. It has biblical roots. Can you tell me about your background, sir?
Yeah, my background, my family from my father's side, they immigrated from Russia, but my grandfather, he was one of the founders of the brigade that asked for the independence of Israel. And from the other side, he wanted to protect the Hebrew language. So here it is, and he had to translate his family name from Gordon to Halevi. Halevi is a Jewish name, the group that was the workers at the temple. And he married to my mother, that she is from a very old family from Jerusalem. I am 15th generation in Jerusalem.
Wow.
And we are very proud on that, because this is the history of the Jewish people in Israel, and that's why we feel that our story is very unique. And I'm sure that the tourists that want to see where all began will come to visit us in Israel. We have wonderful weather, wonderful condition at the beach, perfect food, best place to see all the holy sites with a lot of cultural, the history, and we are waiting for more and more tourists.
Which is exactly my next question, Director General. If I'm planning my trip, well, I know that it's such a big country, it's a beautiful, and there are a lot of areas to see. But assuming I just have a limited time, I have 3 days. So what are the must-sees in Jerusalem that I should not miss?
First of all, we have a direct train, speed train, half an hour from Tel Aviv airport, Ben Gurion airport to Jerusalem. Israel is a small country. Then a couple of days you will cover Jerusalem with all of the historic place and the wonderful market that we have that open around the clock. And the old city of Jerusalem with the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Western Wall. And 1 hour drive you will go to the lowest place in earth, the Dead Sea. And then you have the desert around. And 2 hours drive you will get all of the Sea of Galilee and the Nazareth and the Akko. So 1 week you can be in most of the places in Israel. So we have a lot of package, a lot of deals, and I think that everyone can make it and plan once in a lifetime his trip to Israel.
Wow, perfect. So I know that you've heard a lot of stories also about the Philippines. So going back to Israel, what so far can you share with your fellow Israelites, seeing the Philippines for the first time?
I think that most of the families in Israel has really very unique and close ties for the Philippines due to the workers that here and they are in Israel part of our families when they are working with the people with special needs in Israel and they are really part of our family. You can see it when you can see a lot of families that the Philippines, they are coming for a couple of years and they are doing very, very important and exciting job in Israel. That's why the Philippines became, the state of the Filipinos is like a very high-class brand that we feel, and that's what we discussed it here with the ministers from the government and with the PAL, your airlines, that the potential is also that the Israelis will go to the new destination, tourist destination, the Philippines, when they will have the direct flight, because they really want to go after our friends and our family, the Philippines, that are a very important community in Israel.
Perfect. Now I'm on my last question, Director General. I hate to ask this, but we know that there's a lot of travel ban nowadays because of the novel coronavirus. But what's your outlook on this? We know that there's a lot of, majority of your foreign arrivals are also from those who are affected by this novel virus. But what's your outlook? Do you see in the coming months and periods that this will somehow provide more education for us to be protective of ourselves and eventually open up tourism again, on a safer, more secure environment? And what do you think are the measures that your country is doing to ensure that the safety and wellness of our visitors will be protected anywhere they go around the world, especially to Israel?
I think that all of us has to see how we can deal with this situation very carefully under the control of the health system. But let's think how we can reduce the damage and to see how we can keep going with the new rules and new instruction from all of the healthcare system. But if we want to keep going, and we have to keep going under the situation, it is very important for the economy. And that's why we are here to see how we can keep going and to see how we can continue and develop. And let's hope that the situation in China will be under control and we can move forward. And that's why here in Israel we realize and understand for many years that you can never know where and when will be the next event, terror attack, nature issue, and we have all of us together to see how we can build a common force that will see how we can be behind it as soon as possible. It's important for all the countries, for the economy, of the global economy, and that's why for us it's very important to be here in this international fair and to continue to work together.
Perfect. Before we ask you, Director General, to finish this interview, may we ask you to address the Filipino audience and invite them to your country and the beauty of your country and why it is called the land of creation.
Yeah, we love the Filipinos. We want you to come to visit us in the Holy Land. We have wonderful country. We are waiting for you. The Filipinos are, for us, very important bond. You are like a part of our family, and we know that many Israelis are traveling to the Filipinos, and we want the Filipinos to come to visit us in the Holy Land to see where all began, to see the holy sites, the holy city of Jerusalem. We are willing to see you and come to visit us in Israel at least once in a lifetime, and I'm sure that after your first visit you will feel the unique atmosphere and you want to plan the next visit with your friends and your family. So we are waiting for you, and let's hope to see you soon in Israel.
That's the Director General of the Israel Ministry of Tourism. Thank you very much, Sir Amir Halevi, for asking us to talk with you here at the International Trade Travel Expo. Open for Business will be back. Stay with us. Thank you so much. Our term of the week is Country of Residence. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, the country of residence of a household is determined according to the center of predominant economic interest of its members. If a person resides or intends to reside for more than 1 year in a given country and has there his or her center of economic interest, for example, where the predominant amount of time is spent, he or she is considered as a resident of this country. And our word of the week is from Dan Eldon. He said, "The journey is the destination." Thank you for watching Open for Business. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, and industry experts promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again next Saturday and Sunday for another episode of Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on Facebook Live on Eagle News, and you can watch this video again in the video section of the Eagle News Facebook page and on eaglenewslive.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Eagle News. For Open for Business, this is Cesar Vallejos. Have a great day.